So this is why I don't sell sheep at the sale yards. I buy sheep sometimes, but I don't sell sheep. Have a look at what we've got here. These are some, yes, I went shopping. I picked up these sheep. As you know, I breed Wiltshire Horns. So I'm really only interested in buying Wiltshire Horns. And this is what I picked up today at the local sale yards. There's, I believe, 5 ewes in here, which I didn't realize at the time. I was thinking they were all wethers, but there's actually a couple of ewes in here, which look quite nice. There's one up the front there, and there's another one there. So that girl's a little ewe. She might still end up as meat. They might all still end up as meat. So I bought these today for $51. 51 Australian dollars plus GST, goods and services tax. And they need a little bit of love. They they definitely need a bit of feeding up and a bit of grass. And I'm going to go through them now pretty carefully just to make sure I haven't missed anything or there's nothing in here that needs to be euthanized. And then I'll decide what I'm going to do with them. So I might run them as wethers, or I might upgrade some of them, some of the girls, if they're looking all right. And they I'll check their teeth, check their feet, give them a drench, check their temperament, their well-being just broadly, and see what we've got. So I've got our little yard set up here, so I'll just stay with me. I'll just move them through. Been pretty good. I've moved them around a little bit so far, and I've actually been pretty impressed with look at that. They've never been in here before, but they're actually quite easy to manage. The 2 little black ones, by the way, are a black variety of horned sheep with Wiltshire Horn genetics. So I'm familiar with the guy who has created these black horned sheep. So I didn't mind picking those up. They're 2 wethers anyway, so they'll go into the freezer. A few little onlookers as well. Oh, look at, they're just loading themselves into the race. That means I have to get out, but that's okay. We can do that. But very obedient so far. So this breeder didn't have much grass, but it sounds like at least they've bred them pretty well on temperament. Sheep, very interesting pupils, the way that their pupils are designed. So if you use those pupils when you move them, you get much better result. So they can almost see 100% behind them. And if you use that, that really helps to get them moving forward. So the front one has turned around, turned his back on us, so I'll go and fix that up in a minute. But yeah, interesting just to sort of see what we've got going on here. So I'll age them with their teeth. I'll check their teeth, their mouth conformation. I'll also age them. I think there could be one that's a little bit older. Or the breeder, I think they just put some random tags in their ears and things like that. So I will just check them and make sure. Oh yeah, they've worked it out. They've worked it out. They're pretty good. Yeah, very impressed. So this is why I don't. So just going back to the point. $51. $51. And I bought myself 5 ewes and 9 wethers. These wethers, if the conditions are right, if we can feed them up, get them to weight, and turn them off our property by May, June, maybe June at the very latest, what we will find is that I'm going to turn my $51 into $350 pretty quickly. In, what's that, we're mid-March now, so if I'm thinking mid-March to May, June, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So wouldn't be something I would normally do, but this year I have, I'm very short on wethers. I've kept, as I generally do, here's a little few of my rams. Some of them are off on another property. There's some of my ram lambs. This one's doing quite well. This lovely fella here in the middle has been doing quite well at shows, as has this little fella too. So, and apart from the rams, a great lambing percentage last year. Generally get about 180 lambing percentage, or perhaps 185 sometimes. And weaning at around about 160 to 70, depending on the weather down here at that time of the year. Last year, my pregnancy scanning percentage was only 150. Really bad season, no rain for 8 weeks just before joining, and didn't flush my sheep. So fix that this year and changed to a flushing regime. But we had a bit different season here, so the weather was a little bit better this year as well. So that's been very helpful, of course. When you get good weather, it makes you look like a good farmer very quickly, very easily. So that's what we want. We want to be able to produce good meat very, very quickly and very easily. I'm very low on weathers, so decided that I would have a look out for some lambs today for $51. So pretty impressed at the day's shopping. Obviously, it's a bit of a gamble, so I'll check these over now, see what I find, and then hopefully be able to make some profit from these lambs. And some of these ewes, if we can get them up, they're actually got really, like this one for example, she's got a lovely horn set, lovely pigment. Yeah, if we can just work on her frame, she's quite sunken. I'm thinking she looks like she needs a good drench just by the way she's standing and kind of hunched her body in a little bit. Not great on the pasterns at the back feet. That's probably a little bit of a downfall for her, so I'll check that a little bit further and see if she makes the grade into the commercial flock this year, and give her a go lammer next year and see what she does. But apart from those pasterns and maybe just her constitution, that might be the only thing worth double checking on her. Haven't been able to get up close to some of the other ewes, but there's definitely a couple of other ewes in here that we can have a look at. So yeah, buy at the sale yards with caution and make sure you do your due diligence. Selling, particularly for me, selling Wiltshire horns at the sale yards, not a good management strategy, sales strategy for us, especially if they go like these ones go for $51. Build your own market. That's what I do. We build. I'll talk to you if you have a look at the Sheep Show podcast, you'll find out some strategies about marketing that we use and approaches that we use. We do a lot of events, a lot of just brand awareness activities to build our brand, and we have a sale day every year, and we find that with all of that, we don't need to advertise sheep and we don't need to sell at the sale yards ever.